So 41 we saw the birth of Krishna that is celebrated. People around are very happy. The Gopikas are happy, the Gopas are happy, Yashoda, Nanda, they don't know how to express themselves. The child also is very happy. Now, baby Krishna, he liked to be around people, all the people were enjoying, caressing him, carrying him, and so on. And this is how the childhood was passed about. So, now here, if you see, while we are talking about all this, the child is just a few days old. It's not even like years or so, hardly a few days or less than a month. So that's when the child Putana Moksham is already done till then. So this was the life of Krishna Avataram. Well, barely the child was a few days old, Kamsa set out a danger to him, which later, of course, Krishna he highlights this to Karna and Arjuna in some conversations later in Mahabharatam, saying that life is not easy for anyone. In my case, if you see, even though being an avataram, right from the time, not right from the time, even before I am born, there are dangers which are waiting for me. So, such is a life which is there even for gods, also, or even for avatara purushas. Nothing is very easy in life. So, for human beings, obviously, it's going to be more. But you are still lucky that at least you don't know what dangers will fall upon you. If something is going to happen, we don't know, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen, we are peacefully sitting here. We are peacefully listening to what I'm saying. I'm peacefully saying what I want to say, and so on. But if I know that, okay, after 1 hour something bad is going to happen with me, I'm not able to sit still even for a minute. So, like this, Krishna, he gives an explanation. Of course, the context is different. Arjuna, the Gita was complaining that there are so many confusions in life. I don't know what to do. You being an avatara, life is easy, and so on. And for me it's quite difficult because I'm in such a situation. I have to manage everything, I have to manage my relations and so on. And to Karna, it's a different context. Karna says that my life is only bad because, of course, Karna, if you see, he didn't deserve. He was born as a Pandava, but later he was given away, and then he developed enmity towards the end when Arjuna's life was in danger. At that time, Kunti Devi comes and tells that you are also one of the Pandavas, you are the Jeshta Pandava, and so on. So again, there was some selfishness which was there. In order to save one of her sons, she convinced her firstborn, you can say, and that's how little Karna says if she really wished, she could have told me earlier also. All this would have been avoided. And of course, like this, there are many conversations. So Karna says, my life is not good, or you can say it's very unlawful or biased and so on. That's how he starts. That's when Krishna gives an answer that everyone has their own set of problems. For everyone, the other person's life is always good. Right? Even for human beings, it's the same thing. I feel that only my life is in danger, everyone around me is unhappy. People around feel the same thing. Only I am facing problems, the opposite person is happy. Each one has their own set of problems. That's when the Lord gives his own example and he says that everyone has got something or the other. Whatever we have to be happy. If you have one problem, maybe the opposite person does not have that problem, but he has 10 more problems, right? Maybe those you don't have. So, like this, there is a balance. If someone is born with something, it's as per. In the case of human beings, is as per our own karma, right? That's what we believe. But in the case of Avatara Purushas, Krishna says, though we are not bound, if you see gods also, as per the rule goes, they're not bound. There's no bond of karma also. But for the sake of an avatara, they have to be born. The Lord can say, right, I'm an avatara Purusha, I'm Lord Himself. Why should I be born in a Karagraham? Why should I kill Putana? Why should I kill Trinavarta? Why can't I enjoy childhood nicely? It doesn't happen that way. Why should I not be born in a palace? Why should I live in a cowshed or so? And maybe rare cattle or so? So, like this, there can be different questions which are there. But the Lord says, depending on the conditions, depending on the situation, even gods also, we have to mold ourselves. What to talk about human beings then? So, like this, Krishna Avataram starts. Now, Dashakam 42. Kadapi Janmariksha. Now, finally, on the Nakshatra Dinam, on the Janma Nakshatra of, it is on the star birthday of the Lord. You can say Yashoda Rani. She calls all the people over, their relatives also, and it seems that there was a big cart, CART cart. Maha Anasaha, Anasaha meaning a cart, which was placed, and there she keeps her child. Now, it's not a palace, right? A small, you can say, they were into the business of milk and milk products. So they had a small house also, cows, a cow shed around, and cart. Those, if you go to villages also, you can see those carts that are there, or even beds which are made of, what do you call that? Thread or rope? Not thread, rope. What is that called? The bed that is made of You can consider rope for the time. Takia, yeah. So like this, a very simple life that was there, and there the child was kept near a big cart, and that's how she placed a child there, and she got busy because it was Janma Nakshatram was being celebrated and so on, and that's when Vavrite Vrajeshwari is a queen of Vraja, so she got busy in that. She kept the child there. That's when what happens is suddenly all the boys now, you see children whenever they have a small child also, they'll all surround around the child and wait, right? So like this all the other boys also, what they did was they were all standing around you, oh Lord, Bhattatri says. That's when suddenly they became afraid and they started shouting looking at you. And what was happening, it seems that all the gopikas also they became tata. Verse number 3. Tatastada karanana sambramashamaha. Sambramaha meaning confused or fear. So they all, even the gopikas also started running here and there. They didn't know what to do. Suddenly they saw wood, pieces of wood was being thrown here and there because Trinavarta Vadha. So like in the form of a, uh, you can say hurricane or something. So that's when, and the child was still kept near the cart only. And thus suddenly what happened, everyone was shisho shishoraho kim abhuditi dhrutam. Nanda asks all the gopas, Yashoda also, everyone, what happened to the child? Shishoraho kim shishoho aho, to the child what happened? Kim abhut, what happened to the child? They all rushed here and there. Finally, what happened is, but the child was safe in the arms of Yashoda. Nothing happened to him. That's when all of them, it seems that they all shed Ashru Jaladralochanaha. They all started shedding happy tears, it seems, when they saw the child safe in the hands of Yashoda. Suddenly what happened is they didn't know in fact what had happened. Now you see whenever there is a hurricane or suddenly a storm or so, at times we don't know what happens, right? Suddenly air comes in, everything is distorted, goes away. So of course now maybe we don't face such situations now, but maybe if you would have seen visuals also we can make out. So at that minute people, we don't come to know what exactly happened, right? And then after everything has happened, oh, everything is shattered, everything is gone about here and there. So the same thing happened when the card that was there, Shakatam Vipatitam, verse number 5, the card was also broken into pieces, and everyone was just looking at the Lord, looking at baby Krishna. They were all surprised, they didn't know what to do, and suddenly, like, they didn't know how to express themselves. There was confusion. Kasko na kautas, kaha nu kautaha, meaning what happened, what exactly happened, where, how. Like this, all kinds of questions were there. Finally, the children who were standing around, the boys who were there, they said that this child who was there, now children if you see, they will usually always keep their hands and legs, if you see, it will not be straight. Now whenever we sleep also, we keep our legs straight, right? But children, they're not comfortable, small babies I'm talking, they're not comfortable keeping their legs straight on the land. That's the reason you see children always will have their legs in the air, right? So that's how the child was there. And it seems that suddenly what happened is the child he moved is Lola Padambujam, lotus like legs. All the other boys were standing around. They told that this baby Krishna, what he did is he moved his legs in the air, and that's when suddenly the cart which was there, it turned, right? It turned, and they saw that even I saw this. So it was like suddenly a storm came, and the Rakshasa who was there, he was present in the form of this cart, C-A-R-T, cart, right? So suddenly what happened is, now, listening to this, now this is something, the child just moved about the legs in the air and the cart broke, or you can say it turned or so, and then it was shattered into pieces. Nobody believed this. Or maybe they felt, oh, they are small children, or so they're just narrating a story. But then at that time they remembered. Ashankyata Drishtaputanaihi. They remembered the story of Putana, saying if such a huge Rakshasi also can be killed, then what to talk about this cart which got overturned also, which got broken into pieces, it would have been happened. So therefore now little they were doubtful. Now here if you see, people still don't, are not that convinced that Krishna is an avataram of the Lord. They're still thinking of the Lord as a small child only, but they are in a state of confusion. Oh, this too can happen, that too can happen, because Putana Moksham is already done. That's when it seems that Pravalatamram is small leaves, you can say pink leaves or pink petals, leaves or petals, Immediately people forgot all that. What they did was they rushed to the Lord and saw whether the pink legs of the Lord are hurt also. Then is it small foot? Kimidam padam kshatam. Padam kshatam, small foot of the Lord. It was hardly very small. Have they been hurt? Are the hands of the Lord been hurt? Have they been injured also? It seems that all the women who were there, the gopikas who were there, apasprishu anganajanaha. Anganajanaha, all the women folk, gopikas who were there, they slowly started, you can say, rubbing the hands and legs of the Lord as if in case he had got hurt also. Finally, it seems that Nanda, he became very happy. Aye sutam dehi. Nanda, he tells Yashoda, Aye sutam devi, please give my son to me. By the Lord's grace, today my son has been saved. Still here, Nanda doesn't know that his son only is a Lord, Jagatpatehi. But he says that by the Lord's grace, today my son has been saved. And thus Nanda, who could not believe his eyes, he embraced the Lord. He kept him near him again and again. And his body, Jata Kantakaha, meaning he was still in a state of shock. Right? How come suddenly the cart on which the child was sleeping, it suddenly burst? Right? Still the child is safe. So he could not come out of that shock still. That's when Nanda, he started shedding happy tears and embraced the child again and again. Finally, the Asura who had come, Ananilinaha, Nilinaha, one who had come in the form of a cart or so. He was destroyed by the Lord. But then still what happened is he also got moksha. Why? How come he got moksha? Because he became pure by coming. Shuddha Sattve Tvailina Vandruvam. Again, he touched the Lord like Putana. He also got in touch with the Lord. That's how he also got moksha. And he that is full of Sattva Gunam. Sattve, Sattvai, Shuddha Sattve Tvai. So he also got merged and got moksha. That's how this Asura was also killed. And now, of course, the Janma Nakshatram was there. So finally, all the preparations that were made, all the Brahmins were invited. They were all honored also, and they showered their blessings on the Lord and the child who was there. So Bhattatriya last verse he says, Nejai Balya Rasaihi, by your childhood antics also, and your sweet ways, by which people were very happy. O Lord, you captivated the minds of the people. Thus, Rujam Jahihi me, please remove all my sufferings also. Just as you made people happy, similarly, please make me happy also by removing all my ailments. Next, Dashakam 43. Tvamekada Gurumarot. Now what happened is once what happened is Tvamekada Gurumarutpuranatha Vodum. O Lord of Guruvayur, once what happened is now as a child kept growing, one fine day Yashoda Devi was lifting the child. But suddenly she felt that oh the weight of the child is too much. So she like for a long time if you hold children also our hand starts paining, right? So she kept the child down it seems. Aparayanti mata nidhana shayane. So she kept the child on the bed and she was busy in doing all the other duties of the house or their work of the house. And but still continuously what she was doing is she was thinking about you. Kimidam bata eti dhyayanti. She was continuously thinking about you only. She used to keep a watch on you though she kept you on the bed. That's when Trinavartam is this. The previous is Shakata Asura. I think I told the wrong, right? Previously, this is Trinavartam. Previous Asura is Shakata Asura. Shakataha meaning cart. It's the one who came in the form of a cart. Now Trinavarta has come here. This is a whirlwind also. Tavad Vidu. Oh, this suddenly what happened is an Asura called Trinavarta came there as a whirlwind. And suddenly there was a dust storm also like we discussed. We don't know during that time what exactly happens. So like a dust storm, suddenly there was a storm which came in and he carried the Lord. Yashoda Devi had kept the child on the bed and on top of the whirlwind he carried you. And, people were all surprised. So much of dust, people could not even see that was there. There was a lot of darkness which came in, and all the cowherds, gopas, gopikas, they could not see anything. And she could not, your mother, now Yashoda Devi was continuously thinking about her child. Suddenly, she could not see you. She started running here and there. She also started to wail, cry also. And now what happened is now Yashoda Devi herself could not bear the weight of Krishna. That's the reason she kept him on the bed. Now Trinavarta also at a point could not bear the weight of the child, and that's when his speed, he was in a form of a whirlwind, right? So that speed of the storm also reduced gradually. dust storm, everything stopped. And it seems that in the Ghoshavyatayata Bhava Janani Ninada, verse number 4, it seems that once the whirlwind stopped, there was no sound of the wind also. Only the cries Bhava Janani Ninada, only the wailing of your mother, O Lord, could be heard because she could not find the child. That's when Nanda, all the other Gopas also, they rushed inside, and at that time, the Asura also had become weak and he released the Lord, he came down. But the Lord was very smart. The Lord did not leave Trinavartana. He also kept hold of the Asura, and that's when finally he fell down from the sky, it seems, that Trinavartaha. And suddenly now the Gopas, they didn't know what had happened because they couldn't make out. Like the child had gone with the whirlwind and things like that. That's when suddenly they saw a huge body fallen outside the house of Nanda, and on the chest of the body, the Lord was sleeping there with a soft smile. Alam Hasantam, the soft smile also, the child was sleeping, or you can say was put sitting on the chest of this Asura who had fallen down dead. And it seems that while the demon, now how did he die is due to the weight of the Lord, the Asura could not bear the weight of sorry, Asura could not bear the weight of the Lord, and that's how he fell down. And when he was falling down, he fell on a huge rock. That's how he died. And this baby Krishna who was there, he started playing on the dead body of that Asura. Finally, the Gopas, they went and they picked up the Lord. Gopa Dadu Girivarat, like from a huge mountain, they're picking up something. Similarly, they picked up a Neela Ratnam. Who was at Neela Ratnam? Baby Krishna, a blue gem from a mountain. Just as we pick a blue gem from a mountain, similarly, baby Krishna was picked up by the Gopas from this huge Rakshasa. Now, again, Nanda and other Gopas were surprised. They started holding the Lord, they started caressing him, and so on. All the Gopikas also did, all the Yashodas also. And that's when everyone was happy that finally the child was safe. Now, verse number 9. Bhuyopi kin nu krinumah. Kim nu krinumaha. Now, finally, both Nanda and Yashoda started thinking seriously. What should be done for a child's protection? Because three times it has happened. Putana Moksham, Shakatasuravadam, Trinavartavadam. Now they seriously thought that every time what will happen? Now that's when they decide that only Govinda eva, only Govinda only can protect our son. Now let us do one thing. Let's all pray to the Lord alone. They don't know that their child himself is the Lord, but they decided pray to Govinda. Let's pray to Lord Vishnu in order to ensure that our child is protected. Last verse. Thus, Bhattatri concludes that thus you killed the Asura who was in the form of a wind. Bhatatmakam Danujameva. Verse number 43, last words. Why it is known for eradicating diseases. We chant this verse three times because Bhattatriya wails out more. He says, Vatatmakam Danujameva. Vatarogam. He is also suffering from Vatarogam. So here he says that just as you killed the Asura who was in the form of a wind, similarly, why don't you kill and remove my ailments, which are also due to wind only? If you see skin disease, right? Bhattatri is suffering from a skin disease. Now, usually skin diseases also are caused due to infection from the atmosphere, right? So therefore, he's Vatarogam, that is there. Why don't you do that? So, O Lord of Guruvayur, again and again, Kim va karomi punarapi. So many times I keep on telling you, right? For the last 42, 43 Dashakams, I'm telling you the same thing. Please remove my ailments. Please remove my ailments. Nishesha roga shamanam muhurarthaye tvam. Again and again, I keep on telling you, please remove my ailments. Please do that, O Lord. Just as you killed the Asura who was in the form of a wind. Similarly, remove my ailments which are also caused due to wind. What else can I do? Kim va karomi. So therefore, O Lord of Guruvayur, I keep on requesting you. I'm doing the same thing to remove all my internal and external ailments, he says. Of course, the physical ailments and also my mental worries which are there. So with this, Dashakam 43 comes to an end. Dashakam 44, let's look at. Dashakam 44 talks about the Namakaranam of the Lord. Gudam Vasudeva Gira Kartum Te Nishkriyasya Samskaran. So here Bhattatri says that, O Lord, Gudam Vasudeva Gira. Gudam is secret. And wherein it seems that Vasudeva, he secretly or secretly, in the sense he was in the Karagraham, right, at Mathura. So he tells that somewhat secretly he conveys a message that the Namakaranam, Jatakarma, things like that should be done by Gargamuni. And that's how it seems that Gargamuni goes to your house, O Lord, at Gokula. Now, there can be different reasons for this. One is, now if you see, Krishna was born as a Kshatriya, right? He was born in the palace of Mathura also, but he was brought up by the Yadavas. So, as you can say, as families, or you can say, as different customs differ, everyone has their own way of doing the Jata Karma, Namakaranam, and so on, right? So, if we have a set of customs, it doesn't mean that people belonging to every community has that, right? But though, because the Lord was born as a son of Vasudeva, Vasudeva felt that in my custom it is there, so therefore I should definitely tell Nanda to do all the samskaras that are there. And that's how he sends Gargamuni to the house of the Lord at Gokula. That's why Nanda was very happy. He greets Gargacharya and says that you please do whatever karma, things like that you have to do. I'll make the necessary arrangements. You ensure that you do everything. Vidhatum. Similarly, Gargacharya says that Yaduvamsha Acharya. I'm the Acharya of the Yaduvamsha. So therefore, whatever the ceremony, things like that which we are doing, Sunibhritam, it has to be done secretly. Now, why secretly? Because the birth of this child has caused a lot of trouble, and there are many people who are waiting to kill this child. So therefore, all the ceremonies should be done secretly, right? And that's when he started performing the Jata Karma of you, O Lord, and your elder brother Balarama. Now, here Gargacharya, Kathamasya nama kurve, Sahasranamno Anantanamno va. Now, Gargacharya is confused. She says, how should I perform the Namakaranam of the child? Because this child himself has got thousands. Sahasranamno Ananta, endless names, thousand names, Govinda, Madhava, Krishna, and so on. So I don't know what name to keep. And thinking of all this, finally Gargacharya, he comes to a solution saying what name should I kept as such. That's when Krishidha, Krishi Dhatuna, the Dhatu is Krishi, considering the Dhatu Krishi, and Nakarabhyam, Nakarabhana Shabdam at the end being the suffix. He puts both together and says that Krish and Na, if you combine together, it actually means absolute happiness. You can say existence, absolute bliss, and so on, which is the real nature of the Lord. The real nature of the Lord is absolute bliss. That is the meaning of this word Krishna. So, Krishna as such has got no meaning as such, but one, you don't have any other words to express, it's just absolute bliss, absolute happiness. That is the meaning of this word Krishna. Thus, the sage declares the name Krishna, and he says that one Jagat Aghakarshitvam va, one who will drive away the sins of the people in this world, such will be this Namam, Krishna Namam. Further, he also gave other names, Anyan, Chanama, Vedan. He also gives other names like Vasudeva and so on. Then Agre, Charama, Adin, Ramadin. To your elder brother, he names him as Rama. Having done so, Gargacharya, he says that this child is not a normal child, he's got a lot of powers, this, that, and so on. But still, Tvam Aprakashayan Pitre, he told your father Nanda, but at the same time, even Vasudeva, but not fully. Because fully we cannot say, right? Otherwise, then that the fatherly son bond will go away. So he just keeps it to indirectly, it says that this child is a very good child, a powerful child, and so on, right? And further he says as Snihyati Astava Putre, a very beautiful verse from Narayaneeyam, wherein Gargacharya says that those who love your son, Snihyati comes from the dhatu Sniha, love, or Sneham. Snihyati Astava Putre, one who loves your child will never be deluded by Maya. Mohyati Sana, Mayikaif, all this illusion that is there, Maya in this world, and or by sorrows also. Those ever who chant Krishna Namam, those who remember and those who love your son, they will never suffer at all and they'll be free from Maya. And at the same time, those who cause trouble, they will definitely perish. Thus saying so, Gargacharya talks about the glory of the Lord. At the same time, Jeshyati Bahutara Daityan, everything is Bhavishyat Kalaha. He predicts Jeshyati, meaning this your son will conquer many asuras, he will bless many people, and so on. And there will be innumerable occasions where you listen to the praise of Lord Krishna. Further, Amuna Vasarga Durgam further says that by your child's help only you will be able to overcome a lot of obstacles and problems. And Krita astham atra tishtadvam. Just place your faith on the Lord. So, and now through this entire Dashakam 44, Gargacharya and also Bhattatri, they try to reveal a very secret. You can say a very small message, you can consider secret or a message saying that faith should be unshakable in spite of the various situations and problems that come in. If faith is there on the Lord, definitely things do happen. And thus he says that you are none but Hari himself who has incarnated as the Lord. So thus the sage started singing the glory. Finally, last verse Bhattatri concludes that Garge Tanirgadesmin. Finally, Gargacharya goes away. Narada, all other rishis are also very much happy and they keep on looking at the child from Swargaloka. So that's when Nirgamaya Shri Marutpuradisha. O Lord of Guruvayur, you are full of compassion. Your Namakaranam also is done. Please remove my ailments. Nirgamaya Madgata Mudgata Karuno. Please shower your grace and Karuna on me also. Saying so, Bhattatri cries out. Could everyone follow Dashakam 44? Next, Dashakam 45. Dashakam 45 talks about Bala Leela. What did child Krishna do? That's when Bhattatri says that finally Aisa Balamurare Panijan Pracharai. Slowly now, Lord Krishna and Balarama. Bhattatri says, slowly you start moving your hands and legs now. And it seems that so when you moved about at that time, there was small Manju Manjira Shincha. Yashoda Devi and Rohini both had decorated their children. So all kinds of alankaram, abhushanam was there, anklets, armlets, bangles, and so on. So wherever the children used to move, the noise of those Manju Manjira Shincha sound of those anklets used to come. That's when the entire house used to become pleasing also. And thus the child kept on moving on his knees. Slowly, what mridu mridu vihasantao. Slowly, small teeth started growing in. The child started smiling a bit, and further, you can say hair, small hair. Now, for children, if you see, hair starts growing, right? So small hair used to fall on the face of the Lord, it seems. So that's again when the child looked very beautiful, you can say, and it seems that the child's hair, just as small children at times have curly hair also, it's quite thick, right? Similarly, baby Krishna also had thick hair, and it seems that his feet were thin, but Yashoda Devi had put lot of arms. Bhujagalita karantaha, lot of anklets, bangles, is that people also used to give the child, and by that weight, the hands of the Lord were very small, right? So because of the weight of these jewels and ornaments that was there, karantaha, it used to come towards the end of the hand, just as people are thin also, you wear bangles, it goes to the end of your hand, right? Similarly, for baby Krishna also the same thing used to happen, and this made the people mati aharatamuchaihi pashyatam vishwanranam. Whoever used to come and see the child, they used to be very happy. Now, finally, what happened is, O Vasudeva, Bhattatri says, O Lord, all the people were very much affectionate to you, as both of you. And then finally, what happened is, Yaha Santao Dravantao, both the brothers started running here and there, they started laughing here and there, and so on. So everything around became joyful. Now, slowly, as you moved fast, as you started growing up, you started moving fast. Finally, you got up, then you used to fall down again. Patantao, uthitao, just as small children, they walk, they fall down. Same thing happened with the Lord also. They used to play in mud. Liptapankao, and all the sages and gods also used to see this Leela from heaven. That's when both the mothers, Janani Bhyam, Sanukampam, both Yashoda and Rohini, used to carry their children away and so on, while the child used to fall down and they would again shower them with their grace. Right? Finally, स्नुतकुचभरमङ्के धारयन्ती भवन्तं तरलमति यशोदा स्तन्यदा धन्यधन्या. Finally, Yashoda, she used to become very happy. She used to feed you milk also. And how fortunate she was. But a 3 year cries out that Taralamati Yashoda, the tender, and you can say the normal lady Yashoda had got the punya of feeding milk to you. And it seems that the child used to smile, it seems, by showing his teeth while he was drinking milk. Then finally, Krishna started walking about. Tadanu Charanachari started playing with the boys nearby, with the fellow Gopas and all the other Gopas also. They used to feel very happy. With whom the child used to play? Bhavana Shuka Bidalan, Shukaha with parrots, Bidalan with cats, Vatsakan, Vatsakancha, Anudhavan. So now child Krishna with other Gopas used to play with parrots, cats, calves also, and they used to run about here and there. Next, Haladara Sahitastvam, along with Haladaraha. Haladaraha, Halam Haratiti Haladaraha, Balarama, another name for Balarama. Wherever the boys used to go, they used to have Balarama along with them as their leader. And all the gopis also, they were enchanted when the boys used to play about, used to keep watching the child the whole day, and they used to forget their household chores. Vigalita Grihakritya. They used to forget their household chores and look at these children only. So this is how they were also much attracted and excited. Finally, the Lord would sing, it seems. Pratinava Navanitam. Lord would sing and move about here and there, and the gopis would be enchanted by the Lord singing. That's when he used to go steal butter. Navanitam. Steal butter and come out. The gopis by themselves also used to. Sadaya Yuvati Lo Kaihi. Sadaya, meaning they were also affectionate. They also used to provide a lot of butter to the Lord, and also Kvachana Navavipakvam at times. Kvachana at times. Navavipakvam. Navavipakvam is freshly boiled milk also. People used to, the gopis used to offer to the Lord. Mama khalu balige he. Now here Bhattatri says that in Vamanavataram what you did. Mama khalu balige he yachanam jata astam. In the house of Bali, I had to go begging. Right? That is begging for alms. But in Krishna Avataram, I'm not going to do that. Iha puna abalana agrataf naiva kurve na eva kurve. I'll not do that. The gopis themselves will come and offer me. That's how here the Lord did not go about begging also, like he did in Vamana Avataram. Here, what happened is the gopis themselves came and offered milk curd also, and if he didn't get, he ended up stealing the same. It was also his Leela. And here it seems that Tavadadi Kritamoshe. Now, the Gopikas, they did not have, you can say, though the Lord used to steal their butter, milk, or so on, the Gopikas did not have anger or you can say sorrow also. They were very happy, it seems, and in their hearts also they were very pure. Though they used to, it was a leela of the Lord that they used to come and complain to Yashoda Devi also, but they never had that, oh, he stole my milk, he stole my butter also. They were very much happy from inside because ultimately Hridayam apimushitva. By stealing their milk, water also, you are actually stealing their hearts also. A beautiful description. So thus, Mama Shamaya Rogan Vatage Hadinata. Bhattatri says, thus, just as you stole their hearts also, you stole their butter curd also. Similarly, please steal my ailments also. You take my ailments also away. Finally, last verse. Sorry, finally what happened is now Shaka Greta. Now the Shakam 45 in some references will end at the 10th verse. Some places you have two more extra verses. We have learned the two verses, so therefore we look at the meanings also. Once it so happened that the child was watching the moon, it seems. That's when Krishna he asks his mother and father Yashoda and Nanda what it is. That's when they say that no, it's actually thinking that it's a fruit also. And the Lord, what he did was thinking that it's a fruit. Now, whenever we have to pluck a fruit from a tree, also we raise our hands, right? Similarly, baby Krishna, what he did was he also raised his hands, it seems, as if he's going to hold the moon in his hands. And the moon god became so happy that he came down in the hands of the Lord, it seems. Kim Brumahe Sampataha. Bhattatri says, what to talk about all this? The moon god, Soma Bhagavan himself, comes down to the hands of Krishna and he says that you please hold me. You think me that I am a fruit, you hold me in your hand. That's when now moonlight, if you see, it's a full moon day or so, the moon is so bright, right? And when Krishna, the Lord of the universe, the light of the universe, holds a moon god in his hand, it is as if only brightness and brightness that is there in the hand. So the Lord was shining, it seems, with the moon god in his hand. Very, very beautiful. Deva Shashi Sa, very beautiful description. Finally, last verse. Bhattatri says, what is all this? Nanda Yashoda could not believe all this. And they said, Kim Kim Vatamidam Sambramaha. They are confused. The moon god is coming in the hands of the Lord. What is all this happening? And they were lost for a minute or so. But again, then this was just a Leela of the Lord. Again, the moon god goes back to heavens. That's when, as if Yashoda and Nanda feel that it's a trance or maybe a dream like situation. And thus they are happy also. They are very much blessed that such a great child, Mohamayim Vitan Van, great child, a blessed child is born to them. So thus, O Lord, Ananda Chinmaya Jagan Mayapa Hirogat. Finally, Bhattatri says, please save me from my ailments also. So this is all about Bala Leela of